gamers and game nuts, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome back. Well, welcome back to the channel, but welcome to my first ever Tera Online console video. Now, this isn't, 100% confirmed and everything like that, but it's pretty legitimate once you guys see the article and all that stuff. We're going to talk about it a little bit here. I'm going to give my opinions on a few statements and everything made here in the article and stuff like that. We're just going to talk about it, and I'm going to continue to cover this section more and more. And I've actually built my own little I guess you could say news team to kind of dig more into this for you guys. So don't worry, we're going to take care of this Tera Online coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox thing, and you guys are going to get all the news and updates straight from us, because we are currently in the process of interrogating developers right now. I kid you not, while I'm making this video, while this video is being recorded, we're nagging the hell out of them on Twitter, because you guys know me, the Andy Wong Interrogator boy. I'm back at it again. And yes, this year we have a new target. But don't worry, there's still plenty of fresh Neverwinter content coming for you guys. But anyway, I've been yabbled on too much. Let's get into this article. This article will be down in the link in the description below, just in case you guys want to read it, see it for yourselves, speculate on for your own and all that good stuff. But let's talk about it. The article is by Deleted Tech, and it says Tera Online is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. And mind you, this article took place back in May, so who knows what's going on right now. Bluehost Studios, the Korean game development company behind Tera Online, has created a job listing indicating that Tera Online is coming to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The listing seeks out a technical lead for porting the Tera to consoles, as well as leading further console game development in the future. The listing describes a number of duties involved with porting the game to consoles, as well as their short and long-term goals, which include expanding into the other markets such as mobile and VR. Tera Online launched in North America and Europe on PC in 2012 and continues to receive frequent content updates. Currently, the MMORPG uses the free-to-play model, which means the game will likely be free-to-play on consoles, although a subscription to Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus may be required. So basically, earlier in 2016, around the summertime, that's when I first heard it, like when all the Neverwinter stuff was going on, but I was way too busy with Neverwinter to even bother to cover it. There was a job listing for a team lead to, for someone to, a lead director in porting Tera Online to consoles. Now, as of right now, we're not sure, if this job's been fulfilled, if it's currently being worked on, all that stuff. We don't know what the deal is right now. That's what me and the team are digging right now to find out for you guys. But usually when a developer starts this kind of thing, it usually happens within, you start hearing news about it within, a year's time. Because there's plenty of people, out there trying to get into the game industry. Like, for example, when you guys first heard about it, with Elder Scrolls Online, when Bethesda was looking for a team leader for that. How long did it take before ESO came to consoles? Same thing with Neverwinter, when Art Games and Perfect World were looking for, someone to port it. First it came to Xbox, then it came to PlayStation 4 a year later. I don't know if you guys remember how that whole thing worked. There's been time and time again where, this happens. The only thing that usually it's usually a little bit off is the console version is always behind on the PC version. Now, I want to get a bit more into this article and talk to you guys a bit, because they decided to speculate for their opinions and stuff like that on the console version, with their own opinions, and I want to talk about a little bit of that also. Predictions regarding console gameplay. This is also an article. It's more towards the bottom for those who actually want to read the article for themselves. Tera on console will likely exist in a much different form than it currently does on PC. Unlike games such as Elder Scrolls Online, Tera was not originally designed with multiple platforms in mind, so adaptations will need to be made for the game to fare well on consoles. The UI on PC is much too cluttered and inefficient to run on consoles, so it will need to be radically redesigned. Each class has over 20 active abilities, which is far too many for a console controller. The console version will likely make heavy use of combos, as there simply isn't enough buttons on a controller to map every single ability to a specific key. Specific optimization will be needed in order to make the game perform well on console. Even on top of the line, PC cannot maintain 30 FPS and such, as Battlegrounds' consoles offer less performance than that. Bluehost Studios will have to rewrite code in order to ensure that the game maintains a minimum of 20 FPS on consoles during intense battles, or it will severely impact the in-game experience. Hopefully some of this optimization will make its way onto PC too. While Tera is 5 years old, it still offers a lot of quality content, and its graphics stand up quite well in comparison to modern games. Tera Online has the potential to succeed on consoles, but it ultimately will depend on how well Bluehole Studios tweaks the game to fit the console environment and perform well. Now let's talk a little bit about this, and this is the first thing I want to pinch: the controller keyboard issue. And the reason I want to touch base on this, right, is because this really annoys me. And the reason this annoys me is because I know you guys have heard, the rumor that, oh, World of Warcraft will come to consoles one day. Well, when I dove into that, decided to watch a few YouTubers' videos, and even, watch Blizzard's commenting on that, you want to know what the biggest issue was? The biggest issue was mapping all those buttons to a controller. Let me bring you guys up a quick diagram real quick. On the screen right now, I'm going to put up a PlayStation 4 controller, and I'm going to show you guys where each and every button is and how you can turn this controller into a certain amount of buttons. On a basic PS4 controller, you have R1, L1, R2, L2. You have up, down, left, right, both analog sticks, which also push in and count for a button. You have triangle, O, X, square. So meaning we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 buttons, plus, the left side and the right side of the touchpad, which actually makes it 16 buttons on a controller. Now, this is interesting. Now, if you take the top triggers off, L1, R1, L2, and R2, that brings you back down to 12 buttons. I don't know if a lot of you guys have played Final Fantasy 14. Well, they built their hotbar system simply by, giving us the controls here on our console. First things first, if you don't know, you can also play Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation 4 or on PlayStation 3 using a mouse and keyboard. I don't know if most people know that, but if you go into settings, there's an option to turn on the mouse and keyboard option. Because I was playing Final Fantasy 14 with a mouse and keyboard actually before I stopped playing. It's actually in one of my streams. And you get the same large hotbar that you get as if you're playing the PC version. It's just on console. Now the point here is a basic keyboard has 101 keys. Now I know there's a lot of gaming keyboards and stuff like that out here and stuff like that, but a basic normal keyboard that can be used to play any MMO on the planet has 101 keys. If you take a PlayStation 4 controller and you map all of its buttons, the basic buttons, take off the triggers, the left, right, up, down, the 2 analog stick click-ins. Now keep in mind, these analog sticks can still be used for movement because I'm only counting them as their click-in buttons. The triangle, O, X, square. You have a total of 60 buttons on this controller if you map each set of buttons by holding down L1 or L2 or R1 or R2. Every time you hold down one of these buttons, let each button mean a different thing. Now if you do things that way and split it up per trigger, you have a total of 60 keys. Now, Tera has, 20 plus abilities for every single character, right? So, say each character has 30. That's only using half of those buttons towards moves, meaning you have 30 pieces of control left to do whatever you desire. And you guys don't believe me? If you're watching this video, pick up your PlayStation 4 controller and count it for yourselves. If you use a basic PS4 controller and you split every single button on the controller down by each and every trigger on the controller, which there are 4 triggers, so you have 12 buttons per trigger. It's really simple math, guys. You have a total of 60 buttons that you can use. Now, when it comes to frame rates and all that stuff, PC performance and everything, the thing is, MMOs are always going to have the lower performance rate on consoles because PCs are more bulky, more powerful. They have certain, even PCs have certain specs they need to be able to run certain games at a certain pace. But look at Final Fantasy 14. Look how well and optimized that runs on console. And heck, that's been running on console since the PlayStation 3. So my whole excuse when it comes to these developers and everything, and my whole saying is, if they did it with Final Fantasy 14, none of you guys have an excuse anymore. Neverwinter's brought their game. Onigiri has brought their game. Warframe has brought their game. There's so Elder Scrolls on. There's so many console MMOs now. DC Universe, Trove has came to console. There's so many. These developers are really running out of excuses. This controller map thing, isn't going to work anymore, especially when, you know, these new consoles are fully compatible to use mouses and keyboards. So, in all honesty, I'm so tired of hearing that, but that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave comments, let me know what you guys think about all this. You know, are you looking forward to Tera coming to consoles or not, or anything like that? Like I said, I got a whole, you know, news team now, you know, standing by. We're going to be covering this for you guys, so expect a lot of videos to come out between myself and a few other YouTubers that I'll be announcing, you know, at a later date, because we're actually going to do, like, you know, a big discussion video on this where all four of us are on there. I believe it's 4 or 5 of us, so, you know, I'll let them all introduce themselves, you know, when that time comes. But like I said, guys, y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tnek127, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.